Russell Simmons, music mogul, entrepreneur, activist, and advocate, joins us here today at Consumer Reports in Yonkers, New York. Russell, welcome. We're really happy to have you here at Consumer Reports. What brings you here today?
Well, first to learn, and also to educate, if possible, about our financial service company. But just I learned a lot about the work that you guys do. I'm an advocate for consumers in many different instances, and I didn't realize how effective you are. Honestly, I know most people are ahead of me on this, but I learned a lot today about how effective you are, and how important it is to have these kind of comparative studies. And it's for my business and for all businesses, it's really important and useful.
You're a man of many causes, and someone who's got a reputation for looking out for the underdog. Tell us about some of the public interest causes of particular interest to us that motivate you.
Well, first, when I started my financial service company, there were none like it. And the idea that my friends didn't have a bank account, couldn't get a bank account, and had to operate fully with cash, it locked them out of the American dream. So I created an industry, I was first in an industry that now, not lots of competitors, but it's really a fast-growing way of a financial service company and financial industry. And it was done because of the consumer, the lack of access people had. And that to me is, that's gratifying to me, but learning about my competitors through you, working with you to make my company better, all those kind of things, that's a good reason to be here.
Well, who's the audience, the target audience for RushCard from your perspective?
All, the 60 million people don't have bank accounts at all. I think that's the number. And many other, maybe another 70 million other people are underbanked or may save a lot of money using our kind of financial service than the traditional services. So there's a huge audience, even as a second card for some people. And so our target is a pretty big chunk of the middle class and underserved communities.
Consumer Reports has taken a tough look at the prepaid card industry over many years. We've evaluated RushCard, and when it comes to safety, convenience, and transparency, it's gotten good marks. Still, there are some folks, including us, who said the card could be better. What do you say to that?
Well, the first thing you got to do is pick the phone up. Got to be responsible to consumers. I'm not sure that that's part of the comparative study. Secondly, a lot of what you guys cited as issues in terms of fees and things, they're gone. We learn every day as we build a tighter infrastructure and more creative ways to lower the cost to consumers, we pass them along. We just added 23,000 free ATMs. We started giving people their money 2 days early, which was a big change. We got rid of the highest fee. The fee that you guys talked about is no longer part of our, so you have to do a new study. And if you do a new study, you'll find that we did well, but we'll do better next time. So there's a lot of, there's so many variables. We don't charge you when you call and ask, for your balance. Right. We don't charge you if you lose your card, and we send you a new card. So there's so many variables. It's kind of difficult to rate, but you guys are best at it so far. I think that if you were to do a comparative study today, we wouldn't be good, we'd be great. So thank you for doing the study. When we started this industry, we had a lot of learning to do. And still now, because there's so many competitors, we learn all the time. Many of our competitors, one in particular, lose hundreds of millions of dollars just to disrupt the market. They're not going to do that forever. Their idea is to get consumers engaged, and one day they want to make money. They want to recoup the hundreds of millions of dollars they're losing disrupting the market. So we're entrepreneurs. I'm a small entrepreneur. I'm not a big public company that can throw money into and amortize the costs and figure out a way to. So I'm not making excuses. I'm pointing out that we're a small company with a tight infrastructure, and we provide services as cheaply as we can. And when we find new ways to lower costs, then we do.
This is just one of many ventures under Russell Simmons' name. What do you think in today's marketplace are some of the most effective vehicles for reaching consumers to try to cut through the noise and reach people?
Well, I think that the internet has been the fastest growing and most creative way, and if you're creative, a way to reach the marketplace. And because of it, I've even started a company, Narrative, which is what this hat is the end for. Narrative, which is a innovative, creative solutions, digital solutions company. And it's been, we come up with ideas that go viral. If it's an idea that is of importance to consumers, then we have to dress it up so that consumers may listen to it. And it can spread, so that's the thing. I think if you have a good idea, it should spread, right? And of course you have to frame it properly, and that's for us. The internet has been the greatest, growth process, and creative campaigns on the internet is critical.
You've got 3 million followers on Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram and these things are very important as well, yeah.
What do you think are the most important or most effective social media tools for entrepreneurs today?
I think Twitter, Instagram, Facebook are very useful, and they're all useful, but those three are by far, I think, the most obvious.
Based on your experience, what kind of advice do you have for young entrepreneurs who may not have the resources, may not have the mentorship, but they've got a big idea they're trying to make reality? What kind of advice do you give them?
Well, it depends. If you're a writer and you have to write a treatment, copyright it and you own it, right? Or if you have a business idea, it's nice to write it down and copyright it so you can own it, or just write it down, and you start from there. You research it, you go to the library, or you go to wherever you can go online, and you study that business, and you grow these ideas based on your one foot in front of the other. It may not be something that you can do in a cost-effective way early, but there's little things you can do that move you towards your goal. This is the idea of having a dedication and faith and resilience is one that you can't be undermined. You never know where, but those things will take you a very long way. Even from not being funded and not being, you can go a long way with faith and dedication. The problem with most entrepreneurs, they quit. And the idea, quitting, it comes, I tried, it didn't work. Well, you can't fail until you quit. It's impossible to fail. So if you go to work every day on an idea, one foot in front of the other, what looks like a failure is really a learning experience, right? You have to be able to go in there and not be, not let the world beat you up, just kind of enjoy the journey. Most people aren't going to starve. People worry about having toys and junk and stuff, but life's about a comfortable seat. And I say this all the time, about happiness. And if you're working on your dream, then you should promote happiness. Most Americans are not going to physically starve. Some may have to live on their mother's couch. But, living on your mother's couch is not the worst thing if you get up and do what you love every day.
Do you get up every day and love what you do?
I get up every day and I attempt to love what I do. I meditate. I go pick up my kids early in the morning, meditate with them, and take them to school. That helps. I don't think most people, unless they're enlightened, are happy every single day. But I'm happy most of the time.
Russell Simmons, thank you.
Thank you.